Thanks for clicking onto this predicted 11 video. We'll get into it right away. I just want to get a quick plug in before anything else though. Derby Day Dominance posters are still on sale. Links in the description below. We've got about 15 of these left. If you want one, get one now before they all sell out. There's not too many left. Bolton away this weekend. I'm buzzing for it. Let's get straight into the video.
Go down, go down, go down, go down.
Hey everyone, Jack Reeve here, TalkNorwichCity back for my match preview / predicted 11 ahead of this weekend's game against Bolton Wanderers. Wednesday's game against Preston was far from ideal, was it? I think we all knew at some point the defeat was going to come. The wins against Leeds and Ipswich were phenomenal. I think the performance dipped slightly against Ipswich, but we still came through. However, the injuries to Mario Vrancic, Moritz Leitner, Tim Closer, they're all going to mount up eventually, and we are going to lose games. I think there was a slight overreaction on Wednesday night. I think Twitter is often guilty of a lot of people saying, oh, I wish the people would stop moaning. I wish people would stop moaning about this player, when actually there's not that many people moaning. However, the fairly reasoned fans and well thought out fans that I follow on Twitter, there did seem to be a little bit of moaning going on last night. And the thing I find incredible with both sort of society and especially football is you either have an opinion of X or Y, that there isn't an in-between. If Tettey doesn't perform up to his best, he's suddenly really shit. And if he has a good game, he's suddenly a world beater. I think that's a slight kind of football thing, but also society in general. You're not allowed to have an opinion down the middle. It was like when I was kind of criticising Tim Krul earlier on in the season. I wasn't being, mean to him. I was just being critical. He wasn't good at the start of the season, and because I was slightly critical, I'm suddenly this massive Tim Krul hater. No, that's not the thing at all. I want Tim Krul to succeed. I want Norwich City to succeed. But for some reason now, we struggle to have this kind of critical thinking. I didn't think Tettey was that bad against Preston. I didn't think Tom Tribal was that bad. I didn't think Steepman was that bad. I think everybody's performance level dipped by 2-3%, and Preston were really good. Leeds will lose games from now on until the end of the season, and so will Sheffield United, and so will West Brom. And I think we'll probably lose a couple more as well. But we're doing bloody well, so let's keep backing the boys. In terms of Bolton, well, Bolton are one of the worst teams in this division. I think they're second from bottom, and that's for a reason. They've won 2 in 20, I think. That's far from ideal, and that's relegation form, and at the moment they are currently going down. However, they did have a good win against Birmingham in the week. Remy Matthews with a fantastic clean sheet and a nice headed goal as well. This is the team I would go for. Tim Krul in goal. Disappointing not to see him save that penalty, especially having got a hand to it. That could have been a real game changer. It was a tale of 2 penalties, really, that game, wasn't it? Not a tale of 2 halves, a tale of 2 penalties. Missing ours and Krul nearly saving theirs. It could have been a completely different game had them 2 penalties had different outcomes. In at left back, Jamal Lewis. Centre-back pairing of Christoph Zimmermann, who I've been more and more impressed with every week. I think the thing with Christoph Zimmermann is he's such a cool and composed leader, but he doesn't let that kind of slip into his game in any capacity. We've got a lot of hot-headed people in our team. Tim Krul, Ben Godfrey, Emi Buendia, even Onel Hernandez to a certain situation. And Zimmermann just calms everybody down. He's a fantastic leader, and he's certainly captain material. Next to him, Ben Godfrey. He was really unlucky not to score against Preston, wasn't he? A couple of chances cleared off the line. I think all of the defenders' games dipped a little bit against Preston, mainly because the formation was changed halfway through the game, and Preston, as I said, were really good. Out at right back, Max Aarons. I was really disappointed, actually, to see the reaction from him at the end with Declan Rudd. There was no need whatsoever to get involved after we'd scored that goal, and he could have been sent off. He could have been, and that would have been stupid. So, Max, if you're watching, mate, just calm down a little bit, buddy. You're fantastic, but that was a bit silly. The midfield pairing. Now, this is what caused all the debate on Wednesday night. Did Farke get it wrong? I don't know. He's got options, hasn't he? For me, Thomas Tribal certainly retains his place. I thought he was fantastic against Leeds and Ipswich. I think his performance dipped slightly against Preston, but I think he had other things on his mind. If you watched my match review the other night, you will know about that. Next to him is the interesting situation we've got on our hands. For me, it's Moritz Leitner. Now, he's been out for nearly 3 months. However, he's back in training. I think he's been back in training for about 2 weeks now. And for me, our performances have dipped slightly since he's been out of the team. Now, you've got either him or Kenny McLean. For me, it's Moritz Leitner. However, I am aware he's been out for ages. He's not going to be fully up to match fitness. But you can bring McLean off the bench if it all goes wrong. And that's certainly not a bad option. So, I've put McLean, haven't I? There's another C in there. Anyway, Leitner for me starts, McLean off the bench if you need him. Up front, Teemu Pukki. He scored his 25th goal of the season in all competitions. He's had a remarkable campaign. He could have had another one against Preston had Declan Rudd not turned into bloody David De Gea for the night. In behind him, Stiepermann. Disappointing to see him miss that penalty against Preston, but look, penalties are not our friends this season, are they? For me, if we do get another penalty, give it to this man, for goodness sake. Give it to Teemu. Out on the left-hand side, it is Buendia, who gave away a penalty. Second penalty he's given away this season, but he contributes so much going back. You can almost let him off a few mistakes because he's just almost provides another defensive player when we're defending. Out on the right-hand side, it's Onel Hernandez. Now, Todd Cantwell will certainly be knocking on Farke's door to be asking why he's not been given a shout at the moment. For me, it's still Stiepermann. He just provides that power going forwards, that driving energy that Cantwell maybe doesn't, but Cantwell can certainly provide them balls in behind. He's a definite option that we should be looking at. For me, that's the team. Only one change. Moritz coming in for Tettey. As I said, I don't think Tettey was that bad. I think he's a different type of player to a Moritz Leitner or a Mario Vrancic. He's less of a creative midfielder. He's more of that holding defensive midfielder. And I think if Tettey was to play next to a Moritz Leitner, I don't think that would be that bad either. I just think Tom Tribal and Moritz and Alex Tettey are very similar. And I'm not sure if that two works so much. And if you are going to play them two, then I think you probably need to go through it at the back and use wing-backs just so you've got a bit more in the middle of the pitch, because we weren't able to retain possession as well against Preston. And I think that was an issue for large parts of the Ipswich game as well. When they were on top, it was just because we couldn't keep hold of the ball, and that's what we've done so well all season, and that's the type of football that took us to the top of the league and now second in the league. So this is a big game this weekend, as every game is from now on in until the end of the season. But I think we've got all we need. Performance levels need to be better than they were against Preston, but it could have gone so easily a different way against Preston, as I've mentioned so many times. Keep the faith. It's all good. It's all well. We've lost games this season and responded really well. If there's anything I know about this Norwich City side for sure, it's that they've got an abundance of characters in this side that can pull us through. And Farke has options off the bench as well. Jordan Rose is going to be desperate to be getting on that pitch. So that's another option. We could always go two up top and sacrifice one of the attacking players. Look, I'm more than confident for us to go up to Bolton and get a result. However, Bolton fighting for their lives. There's the cliche you've been waiting for all video. A good result against Birmingham. Remy's playing against his old side. He's got a massive point to prove, and he'll be desperate to show Stuart Webber and Daniel Farke what they've missed out on there. This is going to be an interesting encounter that I think we've got enough for. Bolton haven't been good this season, a mess on and off the pitch. This team should be good enough to go and beat them. Bolton fans, if you're watching, let me know your thoughts. Norwich fans, of course, always want to hear your thoughts too. Do you agree with this team? Would you go with something completely different? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.